Hi Martha, Elise here. Thank you so much for getting in touch and for filling out the checklist for us. James is a massive cutie, even if he doesn't love his car seat quite so much as we would like him to. Now that you have removed the infant insert, and all of the car seats and all of the babies are a bit different, so it is really hard to know when to remove the infant insert, but I definitely think that you've done the right thing taking the infant insert out for him. Now that you've removed the infant insert, I would expect him to be more comfortable in the car seat. A few more things to check are when you install the car seat, does the car seat move at all? Because some kids, when the car is moving and the car seat is not quite installed firmly enough, they can feel that it is feeling a little bit insecure, and that can really trouble them. So that is something to check, and if you have any questions about that, like if you find out that your car seat does move a little bit once you've put it in the car, then let me know and I'll give you some tips on how to install it so that it doesn't move at all. And that's sort of separate from him being upset in his car seat. The car seats really ought not to move from side to side at all once they've been installed securely. The other thing that you could help me out by letting me know is, does James hate his car seat outside of the car as well? Like, do you put it on your pram? And does he hate his car seat when he's outside of the car as well? Do you find any improvement when the car is moving or when the car is stopped? So if you could let me know when he seems to hate his car seat the most, that would be really helpful. I have dropped you an article as well that I wrote for the Automobile Association of Singapore's Highway magazine. And it kind of outlines a few things to check if your kid cries in their car seat a lot. And the biggest, I suppose, the biggest message that I was trying to get across in the article is that unfortunately all kids cry. And it is, it's not always because they're uncomfortable or in pain. So there's definitely lots of things that we can check to see whether they could be uncomfortable or in pain. But it is quite normal. In fact, it's developmentally appropriate for children to resist their car seat, even more so when they're going through developmental leaps, whether they are physical or mental developmental leaps. So that's probably not the best news that you've heard, is that even if you did change your car seat, even if you did everything that you could, there's a good chance that he still might not like his car seat. One of the differences between the car seat that you've got and another category of car seat is that the infant car seats can typically be quite curved and rounded. They are designed for little babies. And so if you've tried all of the things in the article and everything that I've mentioned and he still seems quite uncomfortable, you could have a look at a convertible car seat, which tends to have a much straighter back, because while it does suit babies, it also suits kids up to about 4. And so it has a much straighter back. And some kids really like that. They kind of don't like being all cozy and cooped up in their car seat. So the one that I would be thinking of that's taxi friendly is a car seat called the Cosco Sonera Next, and we've got that in the office so you can come and try it out. And even if you wanted to borrow it for a couple of days to see if it made a difference, we could definitely sort that out for you. And the last thing that I'm going to add is, this is where I might ramble for a little bit, so I'm sorry about that, is probably an extension of what I wrote in the article, and it is really to reframe how we think of crying. And when my now 5-year-old son, the eldest of my 3 boys, was about 6 months or so, I found a lady named Janet Lansbury who practices RIE, which is Resources for Infant Educarers. And I can drop a link. I'm pretty sure I can find an article for you about crying. And it sort of has nothing to do with car seats, but if we can reframe crying in our own minds and not see it as the end of the world, which is very hard to do because we are biologically geared to have a very physical response when our kids cry, and it's on purpose because when our kids cry they might be hurt and we need to tend to them straight away. But this is the way that I like to see it. So I've got 3 boys and the eldest is 5, and when my boys are in high school or uni or older and they're sad about something, like they're not doing well in class or they have problems with their girlfriend or they're getting bullied at school, I want my boys to come to me and to tell me that they're sad. And I want them to feel safe and accepted and comfortable with showing me those dark, twisty, ugly emotions, whether it is, sadness or self-pity or jealousy, and sending them the message that, I'm not going to be judging you, and I'm happily going to accept all of those dark and twisty emotions, starts when kids share those emotions with us as babies. And so when James is in his car seat and he's crying to you, at least this is how I like to see it, is if we do everything to send the message that he needs to stop crying, and that, I'm really uncomfortable every time you share these sad emotions with me, and I only want to hear your emotions if they're happy, shiny, summery emotions. Then, if we send in the message that we will do everything in our power to stop you from sharing those sad emotions with us, that can sort of lay the groundwork for children maybe not sharing those kinds of emotions as they get older. So what I like to think of, and again, this really has nothing to do with my kids, it's just changing the way that I think about crying as I try to, and this is a really active decision you have to make, I try to see the crying as a gift. And so I try to think to myself, wow, you trust me so much and you feel so safe with me that you feel like you can share these emotions with me. And, I'm incredibly honoured for you to do that. And it's a gift because the more that I learn to accept these emotions when you're young, the better I'm going to be at accepting what you're telling me when you're older. And so if I try and reframe my position and see it as a gift, every time they cry, that's, they're making me into a better parent for them when they're going to be teenagers. And so, saying stuff to the kids when they're crying, even if they're babies, saying, oh gosh, you sound like you're having such a hard time. Yeah, I can see that you don't want to be in your car seat right now. And so, really acknowledging and accepting those feelings rather than being, deciding that that it's your job to fix those feelings. At least it really helped me, because all of my children, as fate would have it, hate their car seat immensely. And even now my 5-year-old cries in the car seat constantly. So, having that narrative that I can talk myself out of the panic helps me a lot. I hope it helps you. Anyway, now that I've spoken to you for 10 minutes, I'm very, very sorry. I hope you have a great weekend. And after you've had a listen and a read, let me know how I can help you some more. I'll talk to you later. Bye.